this is both our third marriage.
Yes.
So, I after the second, man, I'm talking to therapists. I went to therapy, a lot of self-talk, talking with close friends and everything. And my statement was, I'm not doing this again. And I was on that for a while, you know. And then here comes this one right here. And, I'm going to let her tell her, from her perspective, but I knew that I wanted to be with her, but that whole marriage thing, man, was it was a pebble in the shoe that hindered my walk. It's kind of like I'm walking towards, man, this pebble in the shoe is kind of, and we got into a situation, man, towards we we're kind of off and on. 1 minute we're good, next minute we're not. 1 minute we're good, next minute we're not. And she was like really holding me accountable to a lot of stuff. Like, hey, look, if you don't want what I want, then maybe we should go our separate ways. And for a minute, Sean, I was like, all right. And then some things went down and happened, and I was like, you know what? Nah, she belongs to me. And I don't want to be without her. And I'm sure that part is gonna come out, as we continue to talk, but no, it wasn't any, crazy like event outside of us that made me say, hey, I'm ready to jump back in it again. It was more just me realizing that I didn't want to be without her. And just really saying, all right, I'm ready to do this again. And thinking, believing, and knowing more so that in this marriage, the best and the highest version of me is going to be involved. Not the past me, not the person without particular experiences, but the highest version of me will be in this marriage, and it should work.
So what made me want to get married again, specifically to Daryl. So like he said, this is my third marriage as well. And after the second marriage, I said the same thing. I will never do this again. I want my own place. I just want to do my own thing. I don't want to do this, But I have always wanted to be a wife and a mother. And after I got scarred those 2 marriages, I took some time. I realized that I was the problem because I was accepting things that the exes were doing to me. I was accepting behaviors and things like that I felt I should have been like in a fixer mode. And after second marriage, I realized, okay, both people should be whole people. And then, a lot of people say, well, my other half. No, you should be whole. Your partner should be whole. And then you get together and then you are even better. And so when I realized that after I did the work on myself, I felt like, okay, I'm ready to date again because I do want to be married. I do want to be a wife. I'm a really good wife. There are a lot of things that I'm not, but I am a good wife and I am a good mom. So although I thrived in my roles, I feel like beforehand, they did not. And so there was an imbalance. And so when I realized once I became balanced, I could attract another balanced partner and, enter into a healthy marriage and a partner. Well, first, dating relationship and then marriage. So I met Daryl and I immediately was like, oh, our first conversation, we talked for a couple of hours and it was just like, I knew him. And then there were just like a little like back and forth getting to the first date. Right. But there were so many things, and then we finally had our first date and everything just felt organic and like, I don't know. Like I remember feeling like, you love me. Just say you love me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I remember I was like, do you love me? And I felt I loved him. And this was like 3 months into just like interacting with each other, like first date. So long story short, I just knew, based on like how it was just organic, and the chemistry was there. We wanted the same things. I'm a relationship marriage girl. He's a relationship marriage man, and we just clicked. So I'm like, this is my husband.
But I was fighting it, Sean. I ain't gonna lie. I was fighting it. But she didn't mention that, the first 3 dates we had scheduled.
I already know what he's about to say.
It didn't happen. I'm just gonna say, I was expecting the date, and the date didn't happen. So, when we finally did have that first date, I can't say, I was like, okay, it's something here. But as I said, Sean, I was really like, I don't know if I want to do this marriage thing again. And I'm gonna be honest with you, part of it is pride and ego, man, because, who wants to be, who wants to be a one-time divorcee? Who wants to be a two-time divorcee? And who wants to enter in a possible, before you meet your person, 3-time divorcee? So I'm like, man, like you say, scared to remarry. I'm like, man, I don't want to go through this. I was scared. I ain't gonna lie. I was scared. We had conversations. We had one conversation, maybe be like, nah. You remember? You know what it was,
yep.
Right?
Yep.
So she had her place. I had my place. Now here, mind you, I'm a single guy. This is the little dog here. He trying to hop in the. It was just me and my dog.
Yeah.
In a 4-bedroom, 2-story, 2,800 square foot house. Gigantic backyard. I got the lay of the land. I had a gym, had a bar, had a studio in the house, everything, right? And we got to talk, and she said one thing, man, because I work hard, man. I'm like, I'm traveling, I'm owning this business, I'm working hard and all this stuff. And then she said one thing, man, like, hey, well, maybe you just need to downsize some stuff and get rid of some of this stuff so we can move in together. And my first thing was, my second marriage, I lost a lot of stuff. I gave up a lot of stuff. I'm not doing that again. And that, like, it really had me like, oh no, why I have to give up stuff? How come we just can't come together and have more stuff? Why I got to give up something? So yeah, and that increased the fight in me a little bit. So yeah. But guess what? Man, she got rid of whole stuff. Man, I got rid of so much stuff, man. Oh my God.